Okay, so, hello guys, it's me Gaming Star here, and today I am back with a brand new Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. We're gonna go ahead and start the first case. Turnabout Memories. Let's go. How did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl. Shouldn't see her anymore. I can't do a good voice. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. It wasn't me. I did it. I didn't do it. "5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. April 11th, 9:40 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, hey, I've seen you in a while. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed. Let go of my apples. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me with your earnest request last night. "Let me handle this case," you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too. "I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean." "What? You've already learned all the relevant facts?" "Well, about that. You see, I mean, of course I have, I think." Oh, dear. "In any case, don't let your client see you're nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client." It's Phoenix. We're defending Phoenix. Good morning there, everybody. I wish I was sick so I could do it perfectly. Good morning. Try to keep smelling, Mia. I just want to say, give it all. God. Yep, I'll be fine. No problem. Oh, strong. Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. I have a cold. That's what my mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anybody else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear for court today. If you truly are innocent, I promise I'll save you. Please let go of my shirt. That's right. He's the one in trial, not you. He's the one you should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. We're gonna get into that case later, actually. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself. Alright, here we go. 10 a.m. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I just remembered something. I have to do my goddamn Toad voice because that's what I did for last time we did. Damn it. I just remembered that. Oh, sorry about the freezing. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was the leading defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't he standing right next to you? Yes. Well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't scare me. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer.
I'm dying.
Don't worry, little girl. It'll be all over soon.
What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me?
Nothing. I like to proceed with a summary of events today in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. Like swallowing. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
It sounds like he was a very bright...
Yes, well, we have thought of taking at the scene of the crime.
I'm sorry about the freezing. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bludgeoned his getaway. Then they called the police.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into records as evidence. Crime photo 1 took... Alright, we're gonna check that out. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
You get your reception for secrecy. Well, you earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death.
The unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question.
Huh?
A simple question. I thought it might loosen you up a bit. I'm a gentle man, if you will.
Gentle? A what? Stand up to me. Show him what you're made of. I picked up too. What's the good cause? Go on. Please say you know it. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through my whole file. My hair. Hemorrhoids! I suffer from hemorrhoids. Now, see here. The details of this case are found. Yeah. Shut up. I'm a veteran. I think our button. Let's go take a hard look. Yes, sir. Alright, let's check it. Alright. A fatal electric shock. Okay. The court records are buttoned. Now then, which is any defense, please look at the question. What's the cause of death? Asphyxiation, electrocution, hypothermia. It definitely cannot be hypothermia because, I mean, come on. Come on, though. It's literally electrocution, so it has to be it's electrocution. It can't be asphyxiation because if he was asphyxiated, then there would be signs of a struggle or some sort of or something like choked to death. But hypothermia basically means like cold. There's two different. There's hypothermia and then there's hypo and hyper. There's two different ones, but they're basically the same kind of thing. Electrocution. I watched a few crime documentaries, alright? According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as the trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there's one more vital issue.
What's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood? What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney. You must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Weston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator. You catch my drift? They don't call him a rookie killer for nothing, you know? Now then, let's hear from the defense. But what's the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? At this time, I would like to see supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all the weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and shove it at old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir. And all to old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg. Try to set a better example for the young lady! But Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles as well. You can toggle, yeah. Now then, let's see what we got. What was the cause of bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? This motherfucker! This bitch! Dahlia Hartford. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up at least once as much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until the 8 months ago, she wasn't the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly she has some part to play in this story.
He started again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking what he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What, the defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye, it's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Oh, God.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes, my name's Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now, I guess I'm a suspect. No. He means what he did before you were arrested. Oh! I was a university student.
Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspecting the death of your fellow student, Doug.
But I didn't do it. I meant to tell you. I'm telling you, but the defendant plays for passing on his coat to the rest of us.
I think the witness has something he wants to say.
If I was sick, this will be perfect. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. The victim and I... Alright, here we go. I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I should have done a British accent. I forgot that. I see. I don't know how to do one, though. So I hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Yeah, looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh?
Seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
If you guys don't know, the reason I did this voice is because it was actually in Justice for All in the very first episode. I was just trying to think of a new voice for Payne, for Mr. Payne, and this is the one that came up. Because he's a pain in the ass, someone would tell because he's a pain in the ass, so why not? That's the reason. And that would be...
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Cross-examination. He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine the witness' testimony contains any contradictions. If the witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Same testimony just now. Is there a lie? Contradiction? Actually, there was. Not in your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you've been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? One, two, three. And I even... Mr. Wright, have you stated about your testimony? I accidentally pressed the wrong fucking button. Or by my phone somehow. I knew the guy to begin with. That's right. Why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it you knew the victim was, you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Alright, let's check the crime photo. He was wearing a leather jacket, not a Union Jack. Maybe without his jacket? That was likely explanation. Objection! You are certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point in my questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at this crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of his t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across his body. But if it was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea what he was wearing underneath that jacket! Mr. Wright? Yeah, been lying to me! Please forgive me! Ah! Mia, you've made your client cry! Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. Can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was wrong.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear this man simply just stumbled upon the scene of the crime.
Uh-oh. Did I go too far?
By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X?
yeah, that's right. It kills cold good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? It's kind of a weird brand to be a fan of.
Would you happen to have the medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does it even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright.
Shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like to take a look at another file from the crime scene.
What's this? The victim's hand. It's Cold Killer X. Oh shit, bro. Yes, but even I got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid the argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who the bottle of the Cold Killer X belongs to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints were all over it.
What? Oh my god, my fucking voice.
The thing is, matter is that Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and had it in his hands. His purpose in doing so, he can only be identified as killer as Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Got my fucking voice. Oh, the order in the court.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo to the bottle's evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Death. Fingerprints.
Also, the victim's wristwatch is broken.
Broken.
Yes, it caused cease functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this?
This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids. Oh. What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, and he agreed to meet me at 2:45 behind the building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. I've been lost my bottle of it around lunchtime at the day of the accident. Mr. Wright is completely different from the testimony you gave previously! I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony even more credible.
Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell me more lies. Oh, God. All right, here we go. Thus, hold it. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you to meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist? I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Should I ask more details? About the time of the meeting, about the forget about it. About the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all about much, though. A little bit early in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. Ah, high voltage cables. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 we split up. The last statement. What at lunch? Oh, the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Youch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by the explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be...
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon wasn't produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... you're correct, Your Honor.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish it was done, maybe I could still come out as mess smelling like a rose. Establish a murder method. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Faye. I believe that if we were to piece together something we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive.
Correct the brash statement coming from my rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments of evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I totally forgot about that. Now then, Miss Faye, would like to go on and show me how you believe the victim was executed. So let's go here. This picture. As for the cause of death, I say this picture captures it quite well. What? You see the electrocution, but there's nothing that even resembles a murder weapon here. Maybe the defense got a bit more in detail. Miss Faye, what exactly was the photo of the murder weapon? It was this. It's this. The electrical current. Well, actually. What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony you've heard? The machines that pharmacology students use their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, the special high voltage cable is stunning everywhere. So then the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That's the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been high voltage cable. However, you want to think about what it really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant! Hatcha!
That much certainly true.
Yes, that's not all. We have proof. A vertical proof that establishes Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the cream sink bottle.
The umbrella. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket.
And if you made a leather, holds fingerprints quite well.
Ah, you mean?
Yes, it's quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left the print like that. Intensive murders could slowly push the victim towards the red electrical cable.
That's enough! I think I've concluded that there's no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg! My hemorrhoids never lie. Show's over me. I knew that boy was guilty for the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright's innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of the man's guilt. Your Honor! At this time, I'm prepared to verdict in this case. Hold it! Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand over his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end.
You've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Wait a minute. Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened.
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further.
I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. I forgot to read the rest. That girl, shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your own sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you should need to know about that girl. That ghoul. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. And he pushed. Okay. What you just said was the truth? Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was a murderer for sure. Well, if the things currently stand, you are absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell you the whole truth. I'll be okay. Won't I, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe I really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the shake. Oh, Niska. Oh, Harlem. Oh, I pushed the victim. That guy. He was talking bad about Dolly. Damn, really must be strong to push that motherfucker. Lost my temper, gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead.
Well, that explains things. It's really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, they say, is that.
A simple explanation, indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
Oh no. But when I pushed it, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him could have missed that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere to provide. One, two, three. I heard some kind of loud noise. What noise was that, though, Phoenix? A loud noise. And what would it say, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You know, some kind of... Wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
Does it sound like that, though? You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? As for more details, Mr. Wright, the loud noise you heard must be extremely important. So try to remember, what was it? How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been? Yes, could have been. Hurry up and tell us! When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Oh, the umbrella snapped. It broke. How does the umbrella break that? Holy shit, he must have pushed him really hard for the umbrella to break. What the fuck? He fell right on top of it and it broke. Damn, that's really a lot. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella. Huh. So did the umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail. Kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked in the bone. Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important to explain just now? Well, of course it's important. This is it, Mia. New information you bring me. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more important. It's vital. I want the official to have entered the testimony.
How perfectly fine. Tons of information for a flimsy lawyer.
Shut up, our fucking prosecutor. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add to the bit of the cheap umbrella your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of the cheap umbrella. Crime scene photo number 1. You see that it's there. You see that it's there, just there. Objection! Why did you testify with the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had any mention of that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was picked by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! You can't with the fucking voice, bro. Odd. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want to present it as evidence immediately. Umbrella owned by the victim found broken near the electrical pole of the crime scene.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. The wind!
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind! I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No!
Alright, that's funny. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown to prosecute the case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix's testimony, the victim fell on top of his umbrella and there was a loud sound when it happened. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish of me to think I was established guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness?
Exactly. And his witness testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hartshorn.
Dahlia Hartshorn? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is the witness of the whole thing. That's right. She was at the place.
What? I love messing with that.
Oh, I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Bad news. You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hartshorn. And we have a second part. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I could start relax then, huh? Relax, my boy! You can't be serious after hiding such important facts! But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life. That's why. The love of your life? Huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hartshorn? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me on the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off before she gave it to me. She said, "I want you to carry this." So she gave it to you as a present. I see. This darling little bottle filled with memories is my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, alright. It makes me so happy. Show it everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright. A small bottle necklace given to Rand the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hartford started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hartford 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here on this courthouse. What's this? Newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some connection between these two cases. Am I correct? An article from A28, almost 8 months ago. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Yes, but I'm afraid what you have, there will not be enough for me, dear. I'll go ahead and have a look in the downstairs reading room to see what else I can find. So thank you. I want to do whatever I can to help you. Well, it looks like the race is about over. We better get moving. Let's read it. Hang on. Oh, we can check it. All right. Very information is... All right. Murder in the courthouse. Let's read it. Very little information has been disclosed about them this time. Since the victims of yesterday's incident, the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. That's really important. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. That's important. Very important for later. For basically the final case of the game, it's pretty important. So keep that in mind. Keep all this in mind. I guess so. That recess sure stayed longer than 20 minutes, though. Alright, so let's go ahead and keep going because I want the first case stage I just like to do in the very first episode. So of course, first case, first episode. So let's go ahead and start. Here we go. Baby trials and tribulations. Baby. Court will not reconvene, Mr. Payne. Please call your witness.
These next persons who will witness the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hartform to the stand.
Oh my fucking god. Oh boy, it's you. What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one to their word. But in your case, I must admit that your radiance glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe he actually said that! Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous.
If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size.
Now bash it with my gavel! I love how they look straight at me when they say that.
Thank you for calming my nerves. You're sure all nice. I almost feel right at home. Not at all.
It was nothing. If we may move on now. What is your full name and occupation?
My name is Dahlia Hartford. I'm a junior in the literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor's all mine.
No, the honor's all mine. Well, you know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Sir? Is there something I can help you with?
You're to say you're going whatever is your mind.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Fenny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes. I can see why'd you say that. She's going to be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. What I witnessed. Okay, here we go.
I had been planning to go back to Fenny's place after class was over. Fenny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then, suddenly, Dougie got wobbly and just collapsed.
The Phoenix pushed him, though.
That's when Fenny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. Authorities. I can't fucking speak today.
I don't know what to say, according to you, Miss Hartford. Defendant didn't do anything wrong?
But the defendant said...
Okay.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of a young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my duty to discover the truth. Please, tell the truth.
Tell us the truth.
But I would never...
That's more than enough, witness. I wouldn't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case with a bunch of paper-thin lies.
You haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey. What's this, though? You two are acquainted?
Yes, we've met before. Once. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Madam, I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie! You're never gonna be a grandma, Mia. I'm sorry, but you're literally gonna get murdered. 5 years in time, you're gonna get fucking murdered. I'm sorry. 5 years in time, you're gonna get fucking murdered. What I witnessed.
I have been planning to go back to Fenny's place after class was over. Finny and I and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed.
Press, baby! Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendants never touched the victim. Is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Finny never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her no good reason, I know the judge will get angry at me. Let's just show contradiction. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hartford, so let's drop them. Shall we?
What? I would never.
Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting. But please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hartford. The defendant's paw prints was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Alright. It didn't look like they were fighting. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. It didn't look like they were fighting. I didn't hear anything unusual either. I went to go find some other students to call their authorities. Objection! You say you didn't hear anything unusual? Is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was relaxed. Very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that?
If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well?
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
It was a snap. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Ah!
May I have a moment to answer?
But by all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean the both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though 4 wasn't ready to have his fun. It's fun to come to the end yet, so the sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out.
You really are something else, aren't you, Dahlia? What the fuck?
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there aren't any contradictions to your testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. The testimony just now, she said something that could totally change this whole case. There was lightning. Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct? Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere.
Am I right? Now, that's not the time for science lesson, Miss Fay. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? Oh! Ah! I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur in this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But the very premise itself was mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bolt. It appears the defense maybe had something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking the guy not guilty charge.
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on the day of the location.
What?
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cables definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne. Well, what's the evidence?
This affidavit.
What's this affidavit from?
The pharmacological students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the court the testimony of the pharmacological students. Pharmacology. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All the lab's equipment runs a high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of several electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits the time of the death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching a several electrical cable.
We were right in that case.
According to the students, the cables were very old. They are planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
Oh. However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it could have been snapped. It would have been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the severed cable, Your Honor? I don't like how this is looking one bit. Let's come up with something to try for case momentum. If it places the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it caused the cable to break? Of course it was Phoenix, because Phoenix pushed him. Of course it had to be Phoenix, because Phoenix pushed him into it, so it had to be him indefinitely. It had to be Phoenix. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony. He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55, which fits right into Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. And it was very shove that caused Mrs. Flo to be electrocuted.
But here's the thing. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
I took a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into the pole as the result of being pushed. It was the impact that caused this cable to break. Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then they couldn't have electrocuted a severed cable in the foreground here. In other words, someone underneath my client must have electrocuted the victim. I think I know who it was. Oh, the court! Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. Oh, I've longed to hear them. It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could...
Mr. Judge, sir?
May I say something? The Madame Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them. What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge. Of course, it's alright. Just go ahead and give in your testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors, this bitch. The truth is, Fanny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Fanny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping, and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. This is all wrong, though. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that's when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Fanny, but I just have to tell the truth. I'm doing the right thing, am I, Mr. Judge? Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Faye, the cross-examination. Okay, there's so many things wrong with this. It's actually killing me. All right, let's check it, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The cable snapping and ducking electrocuted all occurred in less than a minute. Either the student's testimony or the crime scene photo number 2. The student's testimony. Doesn't really matter. Objection! That's enough, witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
Oh, that medicine. That's the one Fenny likes to take on his first cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was executed. In other words, 3:05 p.m. If you guys can't read time, it's 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye? My point is, what time was it when the lab suffered a power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Yeah!
Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hartford, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Swallow. Alright, let's go. Order the court. What is it about?
This is nonsense! The real murderer!
Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely accounted for.
Then who was it? Who else would you guys say had done it?
Shit. There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. It was their deliberative opportunity for the real killer. Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as a real killer? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. I will. Now to Miss Faye. Let's have it. Who is the real killer? Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim, Doug Swallow, up to 8 months ago. Dahlia motherfucking Hartform, bitch! It could have only been you. Dahlia Hartform!
What? How? How can you? The defense is grasping at straws!
10 minutes passed between the time of the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. Exactly what were you doing the whole time, Miss Hartform? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? Find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Oh, shit. Miss Faye! Miss Hartford, I believe you did witness the two men fighting that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Ah!
How can you say something like that? So mean, Madam Faye. I didn't do anything.
Miss Faye, this is very serious charge. You are... Oh, shit! Your Honor! Please, I have something I want to say. Achoo! What's it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Okay, come on. Mr. Wright, get back on your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone. If I was sick, it'd be perfect. That boy. He's got himself in the way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossbeck, you're back! It seems I arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on the incident in your newspaper clipping. A report on the incident 8 months ago. Thank you so much. Exactly what I was hoping for. Alright, let's check it out actually while we're here. Location, District Courthouse Cafeteria, date, time, August 27, 4 p.m. Victim, Diego Armando. Armando's literally a first name, so it's just like 2 first names. It's not even a last name. Armando's literally a first name, so it's just Diego Armando. Age 28, occupation lawyer. Suspect Dahlia Hartforn, age 19. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It was unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Incident overview. So that's going to be very important for later. We'll talk about that. You better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now then, the defense has made very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what would you have to say about this? Really, Your Honor,
That is a...
May I interrupt you just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. What is it? Go right ahead.
Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie?
Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry. Please go ahead.
How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Fanny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little old me to bear.
I believe that girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. Murder? The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report, it must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria in this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally met. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hartthorne. Further testimony? Well, what about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What could that possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have a message, yes, that she in fact has a very good reason. Very well then, the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying just for a little bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hartthorne. Bitch.
How I met my Fanny. I first met my darling Fanny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in the very courthouse's basement in a reading room.
That's kind of weird.
The moment in our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day.
We're so lovey-wovey, we literally just make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. Mr. Wright, do that again! I'll be held in contempt of court! And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. Let's go, motherfucker. Let's get this motherfucker. Let's go, baby. What was she doing in the courthouse? That's kind of odd, is it? Gee, I wonder why. The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
That's not true, Madam Faye. After all, Fanny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hartthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is all a waste of time. It's nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you. This has nothing to do with the Mr. Swallow's case. I have to remember the judges. Judge Dahlia said I better trick her. Keep pressing, baby. Your Honor, if you allow me to do some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please, Gaskers, continue with her testimony. Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply I had to come to this courthouse to do research for a paper I was writing.
Why would you go to... More like... a police report involving about you, bitch! Miss Hartthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there is another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in the incident is listed here in this report, and that name is Dahlia Hartthorne. What? The Dahlia Hartthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hartthorne. She was the prime suspect in the criminal case just 8 months ago. Fuck me. Bro, I missed this, man. Odd. This is unbelievable. It's true that the loveliest rose can hide its cruelest thorn.
Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness of an unrelated case. Winston Payne will not allow it.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me. Go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth.
Bitch, you ain't gonna do. Oh shit! Just as I was. Oh god, why?
I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
You fucking did. I know you did. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, you really let fire in my heart and my buttocks. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoid. God damn it. Oh, an hour, baby. Haven't had this an hour episode in a while, baby. Let's go.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat just for a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was liquid poison that was lethal with just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get that poison like that.
So that's what happened to her 8 months ago. However, she
Her friend witness testimony, she had nothing to do with it.
just because she said it doesn't mean she did. So she did.
I think the defense isn't about our tricks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. But I'm afraid that the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination.
Gah! What does the defense suddenly feel stronger?
Aha, Mia, you're glowing with a true lure Azura, my dear. The proud posture and self-confidence absolutely smashing. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fuck, wrong button!
I mean, come on.
Objection!
Kind of obvious where you would get it from. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim Dr. Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Ms. Harford was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at the Ivy University.
Pharmacology.
His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit would have never have attained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hartford, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping into the victim's coffee when he was looking. The only person who could have done that was one sitting at this very table. This very table, you! No! Could it be?
That's nothing but a baseless
May I say something, Madam Faye? What is it, Miss Hartford?
The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? To carry that much liquid, you wouldn't need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place.
Quite true.
In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down.
But didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
She's right. They even mentioned the report.
Well, you wouldn't easily have gotten rid of something that small.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think it needs to show some kind of proof.
Proof?
She got me with that.
Provide some evidence to have this disallowed the line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we come up with some evidence, we're losing the lead. The police conducted a full body search on Dolly in the entire courthouse. And the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. We're going to accuse Tilly of murder. This poison happened to me. Dolly is present. It was a small bottle. There it is. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was the witness accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present.
What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye? The day of the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th, the very same day after the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! On behalf of Dolly, I object!
But Mr. Wright, control yourself!
I won't let you bully her like this! Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going to so much to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love? I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Harper want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Harper is dating you is... She's madly in love with you. Because of the necklace. Dahlia Harper was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is the bottle necklace you love. You love to wear around your neck. The necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said you yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl. Asking for a present back like that. I will never do that. For Dahlia Harthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence to her crime. That's why she was absolutely had to get it back. You're lying! But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No! That's a lie! But Mia! Are you alright? Have to defend it! He's getting away! Bailiff, hurry! After him! Mia! Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane! Where's my Mr. Wright? It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should get back here soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no! What is it? The bottle necklace, Miss Hartford's is gone! What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, sort of behavior is not permitted in the history of this court. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid your apology is not enough.
Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay. Just give it back the necklace. I ate it. You what? You ate it? It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits forcefully. What the? What? What is he doing now? Your Honor, you got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? Bottle he swallowed may have had some poison left in it. It seems that the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us.
Clearly, the bottle did not contain deadly poison.
How can you be so sure?
I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgly defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem. Wait a minute. No, there must be some mistake. The bottle does not have any poison left in it. Either the poison must have lost its potency.
There. It's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. It's hard for me to see that you placed this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment on her completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in a court of law, the evidence is everything. Even after I proved so much, she's going to get away from everything again? Well, now the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial. Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, Miss Faye. I totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day I met Doug Swallow. Oh, God. My throat's kind of killing me right now, especially after doing the toe whisper. My throat's kind of killing me. I'm not even gonna lie. It's killing me. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could only have been her. That girl's a thief. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. And then you pushed me. Alright. Oh boy. Kill me. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous! There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What?! She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, this is the defendants!
Miss Faye, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dolly is still poisoned 8 months ago, too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye, if you're so certain for your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, it's your last chance to carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back to. Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Phoenix, of course. Take that! There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way, and that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright!
Me? That's preposterous! After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. That person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that could be. But how can it be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright, this must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to the incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him 8 months ago, just after the fall of the attorney in the basement cafeteria? Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made. The evidence was missing for a long time, but there was just one big problem. Although she got to him had the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true! Fanny, what a joke you are. There she goes with her fucking colors! Honestly, how could anyone ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. But Miss Hawthorne, it appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you plan making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle of the snack. Well. Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? I got a bread flash just come up. Yeah. With absolutely no proof, you treat the voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind me. But we're not finished! Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia! If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price. You'd be forced to take out your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. No! You better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray. Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that should establish your guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point, I don't even have any evidence what's founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof.
Impossible! You can't possibly!
Stupid woman. It is an opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented.
Just one?
If you are unable to establish your guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will be unable to be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. An up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She is playing poison, Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then she's probably in there. Well, if Miss Faye, please present the evidence. Oh, it's court inferior proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. I mean, come on. What? Here it is, Your Honor, the evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X, Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold?
If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? But I lost my bottle around lunchtime at the day of the accident. I always eat it with Dolly. I always eat with Dolly, it's just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
Now that you're really grasping at straws! After all, I was the victim, Doc Swallow, I was holding the medicine.
It would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which was then given to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That's when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard that she saw everything what happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check with the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder where she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poisoned cold medicine? She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. As she had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you weren't fooled, are you? The stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
That's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
I wonder which one of us is a desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate the necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of the medicine right now. Mia Fey, Mia Fey! Oh, shit. Okay. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? Fuck. I got my throat. That's just fine. For the time being. Victory's yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? What? Yes. I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. Bye. Fuck you, bitch. Holy shit, fuck you. Phew. It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense action and scrap of evidence support your artist claim.
But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care. Witness in pain. And I don't believe the word.
Ricky, fuck, can't speak. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, I would have sworn you said.
There. Sorry, rookie. For example, I would trust a witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
So if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't be possibly any poison in here, right?
Well, you see, yes.
And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? Oh god, this is amazing, this is amazing.
Yeah! Mommy! He's flying out my beautiful hair!
No! I love how his hair just falls off. That is beautiful. Mr. Payne, about this Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious back at the very beginning. Boy, you did it! Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fey. Yes, Your Honor. Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor, whether we did or not is not bearing this case. Very well. Mr. Payne.
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare! I will accept it!
It appears Mr. Payne is also speared along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear. Dolly! Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty! Hey! Ooh! First episode's pretty fucking long, but it's worth it. This court's adjourned. Then we have the second case, which is basically a filler case, mostly filler case. So the second case is mostly filler. We're gonna get into that case. Mia, you're wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. Okay, that's kind of gross. Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship with a mutual trust with a client? Perhaps it was a veteran lawyer, so I've lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright! Congratulations! Thanks. You know, I was thinking. Go on. The Dahlia that what I saw there was the witness stand. I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the Dahlia I know could never have said those things, terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something? Foreshadowing, Butch? Boy, this poor kid still hasn't gotten a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But, out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. Eek, what kind of company does this guy keep up? Right now, I'm starting to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that desperately wants to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm studying my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we'll see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted with all my charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your clients. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Heard about memories. In the end. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a pretty long one, but episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. We're gonna have a new prosecutor, and it's gonna be a very interesting case. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, whatever. And next time, we're gonna go ahead and start case number 2. Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. It's a bit of, it's gonna be split into a few parts, possibly. Something from investigation to trial, like before. So, see you guys then.